Hey there, it's Gregson. Welcome back to Shifting Lanes. Today we're talking about the 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer and what you need to know about it before you buy it, research it, or compare it to others in its class. And even if you're not in the market for a Grand Wagoneer, stick around and watch all the way to the end because there's some interesting information I found when researching for this video that you may be interested in, especially if you're looking at full-sized SUVs. Since the Grand Wagoneer is a brand new vehicle from Jeep, we'll be going over everything you need to know about the SUV. Things like engine types and power output, key features and tech, what vehicles it hopes to compete against, and finally, what it will mean to the Jeep brand as a whole. And if you're here for the Grand Wagoneer, we make tons of different videos at Shifting Lanes like new car reviews, other what to know videos, and consumer advice recommendations. If you'd like to see any of those, check the description below for playlists of everything we do, or click the card above for a hand-picked video for you. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up at the end if you enjoyed it or found it informative. Now let's get into all the details of the brand new 2022 Jeep Grand Wagoneer. Everyone who knows the original Wagoneer remembers it as the extremely cool, wood-clad, full-sized SUV made in the 1960s. In fact, the original Wagoneer invented the full-sized SUV segment. But did you know that the 2022 version will technically be the fourth generation of this SUV? The 1983 Jeep Wagoneer was an upscale version of the compact XJ Cherokee produced between 1983 and 1990. The third gen was just a one-year run of a top-of-the-line trim on the new Jeep ZJ platform for the mid-sized Grand Cherokee during the 1993 and 1994 model year. And now, 28 years later, we're finally getting a real follow-up to the 1960s version with its own premium extension of the Jeep brand. Given that this is a brand new vehicle, we're going to talk about everything you need to know on this thing, and there is a lot of cool stuff, so let's dive right into it. Many people may look at the Grand Wagoneer and think, that's an attractive SUV, and they would be right. The Grand Wagoneer is handsome, and we'll get into that point a bit later in this video, but what many might gloss over is the serious firepower lying under the hood. The regular Wagoneer gets a 5.7-liter V8 with 392 horsepower and 404 pound-feet of torque, which Jeep claims has a smooth, broad power band coupled with some fuel-saving technologies like variable camshaft timing and cylinder deactivation. The Grand Wagoneer ups the ante with a 6.4-liter V8 with 474 horsepower and 455 pound-feet of torque. Both will deliver best-in-class towing capabilities of 10,000 pounds. By comparison, the Dodge Durango Hellcat I just made another What to Know video on, with its 710 horsepower, 645 pound-foot Hellcat engine, can only tow up to 8,700 pounds. So these V8s and the Wagoneer twins are seriously impressive for towing purposes. As far as speed goes, the Grand Wagoneer has a claimed 0 to 60 time of 6 seconds, which is pretty quick for a massive SUV. Expect the Wagoneer version to be about half a second to a full second slower when the final numbers come out after some independent testing. Both engines have Jeep's e-torque hybrid system, which replaces the usual engine-mounted alternator you see in basically every other modern car with a belt-driven motor generator unit. This unit couples with a 48-volt battery pack to provide a no-delay engine start-stop function, torque addition to the engine crankshaft in certain driving situations, and brake energy regeneration, which reportedly improves responsiveness and efficiency. The system enables up to 130 pound-feet of torque to be available on immediate throttle application. Additionally, both engines will mate to a Torque Flight 8-speed automatic transmission. Before we get into the tech aspect of things, Jeep intends to make the purchasing experience pretty cool for anyone wanting to do so. Right now, you can go to Wagoneer.com and with a $500 deposit, show your intention to purchase. After that, a personalized Wagoneer Concierge will reach out to initiate the order process, provide vehicle updates, and assist with any dealer interactions. After a customer receives their vehicle, support will continue through a VIP helpline with Wagoneer Client Services, which includes an array of benefits like 5 years of built-in dealership maintenance, which include oil changes and tire rotations, 24/7 concierge support and roadside assistance, equivalent service loaner at no charge, trip interruption coverage, VIP access to exclusive events, interior and exterior vehicle cleaning and a full tank of fuel when serviced, vehicle pickup delivery for service, and complimentary Wi-Fi and phone charging station. Clearly, they want you to buy this thing. Outside of all that's offered from a concierge perspective, the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer both offer good tech packages, which include a new Uconnect 5 operating system system, digital rear-view mirror, a rear seat monitoring camera, heads-up display, frameless digital cluster, and premium Macintosh audio system. The Uconnect 5 system will offer either a 10.1 or 12-inch digital display and operating speeds up to 5 times faster than the outgoing Uconnect 4 system, which was a point of contention in reviews of other FCA Stellantis products over the past few years. Both displays will be reconfigurable with split-screen capability to show dual applications if the driver so desires. The center-mounted 10.25-inch display will be your standard fare, which will be home to many apps and vehicle functions. The whole system will also have Alexa home-to-car and car-to-home functionality, 5 different driver profile modes including a valet mode, wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, and the first Fire TV for auto integration. That last point basically meaning that passengers can now have access to Amazon Alexa and to hundreds of thousands of movies, TV shows, and apps through the Amazon network via touchscreen displays in the rear. The Grand Wagoneer, and by extension the Wagoneer, are loaded to the hilt with safety features as well. Some of the highlights are what's expected in a premium luxury SUV these days, with features such as automatic emergency braking with pedestrian and cyclist detection, adaptive cruise control with stop and go, active lane management, blind spot monitoring, rear cross path detection, rear park assist sensors with stop, and switch activated electric parking brake. While Jeep is recognized as more of an off-road brand, the Wagoneer twins look to bring them into the luxury segment. However, it wouldn't be a Jeep without an impressive suite of off-road capabilities and systems, of course. Both will get 3 available 4x4 systems called Quadra Track 1, Quadra Track 2, and Quadra Drive 2. Also available is a Quadra Lift air suspension and Select Train traction management system. The Quadra Drive 2 system is the most impressive, with a rear electronic limited slip differential, or ELSD, that can instantly detect tire slip and distribute engine torque to tires where traction is needed most. According to Jeep, in some cases, the vehicle will actually anticipate low traction on its own and adjust in order to proactively limit or eliminate slip. The Select Train feature is standard with Quadra Track 2 and Quadra Drive 2, and has 5 settings for the different surfaces you may drive on, like sport, rock, snow, and sand/mud, or you can let the system do all of this by itself by putting it in auto mode. Getting into a more subjective aspect of the Grand Wagoneer, let's talk about the exterior and interior aesthetics. As I stated earlier, I personally think the overall aesthetic of the Grand Wagoneer is great. It's very attractive, and I love how it is both modern looking, yet also keeps the traditionally boxy looks of Jeeps in the past. The interior looks gorgeous and seems like a wonderful place to be, especially if you're a passenger on a long road trip with tons of amenities and features. I also like the big V8 engine offerings in a world when engines are constantly downsizing at the sake of better fuel efficiency. Now, I'm all for efficiency, but when you're buying a full-sized SUV, it's not exactly the biggest thing on your mind, and getting a big V8 with tons of torque and towing capacity is great to see in this segment, especially when it already has fuel-saving methods built in. As for competitors, both the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer have the Mercedes-Benz GLS, Lincoln Navigator, and Cadillac Escalade firmly in its sights. This is really a unique offering from Jeep, as they aren't a luxury brand at all, yet they are targeting the luxury segment completely. At least on paper, it appears the Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer will do the job, and given the US car market's propensity for SUVs right now, Jeep should be able to take some market share away from Lincoln, Mercedes, and Caddy, though how much is pure speculation at this point. We hope to get our hands on one to review for you in the near future, but it's important to note that the Wagoneers are a body-on-frame design, which means it will be more like a truck ride than a car-like ride you're seeing with many of today's crossovers. This should give much better off-road prowess, but it remains to be seen how the ride quality pans out for general road driving. My guess is it'll be fine, more than pretty good, and more than likely very much above average, but road manners differ greatly depending on how an SUV is manufactured. If we do have a review for this video in the future, and you're watching this video, we will place a card directly above and you can click that to watch it. So what does this all mean for Jeep as a whole? Well, like I just said, Jeep isn't a luxury SUV maker, and overall quality on some Jeep products isn't all that great. I recently did a what to know video on the 2021 Wrangler and was staggered to know that Consumer Reports gave that a rating of 29 overall out of 100, with the next best in class getting a 64, which is a huge gap in quality. However, other Jeep models like the Grand Cherokee have less issues. It's hard to predict how the Wagoneer twins will fare, but given that this is a quality over quantity segment, I'd be willing to speculate that reliability will be average in the first year as they work out some of the kinks peaks with a new model, with subsequent years being above average to good. Also, this is a landmark move for Jeep as a whole because this is their first modern foray into the pure luxury SUV segment. Sure, the Grand Cherokee is nice, but it's smaller and it's no Escalade or Navigator when it comes to amenities. If the buyers are there, it could send Jeep fandom into a totally different stratosphere. With all this being said, do we recommend you go check out a 2022 Grand Wagoneer or Wagoneer if you're in the market for a full-size luxury SUV? That answer is absolutely. It's a new-to-market big SUV, and if you're going to buy one, you don't have an enormous amount of options. If you're looking for an SUV that is attractive and will do the job of hauling the family around while giving you some really cool tech, great towing, and nice creature comforts, then the Wagoneers should for sure be on your list to test drive. And you will be able to soon, as they should be hitting showrooms later this year. I hope this video does help you in making your potential buying decision a bit easier. If you want to follow us outside of YouTube, you can find us at Shifting Lanes on Facebook and Instagram, where we post about the cars we review, our personal cars, and industry news and adventures. And if you did like this video, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up so that you will be notified every time we make a new video. Again, my name is Gregson. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.